What is Rotary? We're a network of people like you. In fact, we're the original social network. More than 1 million of us live just about everywhere you can think of. And we mean everywhere. We get together to exchange ideas, grow our businesses, and make new friends. We volunteer to help our own communities or someone else's. We're right around the corner. Come join us. The name is Rotary. Rotary International. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. I did my best to fix the weather, and it just didn't work today. I can't do a miracle every day, but I'm glad to see you all here and that you braved the rain to come to the Rotary meeting, and I know you'll be glad you did. We're going to start today with the invocation from past President Ed Monette, who will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance because we have special music today. Ed, you do not have to sing, though, so you'll be good. And then Michael Willis will introduce our visitors. So come on up, Ed.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Lord, we are thankful for the day that you have given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's problems. May we be challenged to give our best always, and may we be assured of your presence within us. Amen. Now, if you'll join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. We have quite a few guests and a few visiting Rotarians today. I want to go through those. I ask you to please hold your applause for our visitors until I read the last name. There are quite a few, and then we'll recognize our visiting Rotarians. I want to thank everyone for coming today. First of all, we have Barbara Hess here with Morgan Stanley. She's a guest of Bob McKenzie. If you all please stand, we'll recognize you. Tamara Horrell with World Travel is here with Marty Alexander. Welcome. Sean Schaefer with OU Urban Design is with Michael Burks. Welcome, Sean. Jeff Riggenbach with CBT is here with Paul Baumann. Over here. Mark Wolmerhauser with Special Olympics is here with Dana Burks. Dan Winders with Blue Views here with Bryant Bynum. Stacy Roggendorf with Propeller PR is here with Mike Dodson. Bill Efron is here as a guest of Mark Hoffman. Fred Ebrahimi is here with John Howland. Fred. My friend Don Newberry and colleague of mine at the county is here with our friend John McGrath. Thank you, Don. Mike Dodson with the Tulsa Community Foundation is here with Ed Monette. Also, Tim Carrig is here with Ed Monette. And Mike Wozniak is here with our speaker, Malcolm McCollam. We have Justin Raines here with John Raines. Charity Herring is here with Lauren Monette. And Glenn Herring is here with Lauren Monette. Chris Zenteffer with Tulsa Tough is here with Malcolm McCollam. Kylie Martin is here with Mike Homan. Tanya Carrig is here with our speaker, Malcolm McCollam. And Greg Riley is here with Tom Klenda. Jonathan Buckofficer is here with Stuart McDaniel. So let's welcome all of our guests. And our visiting Rotarians here, Mickey Moore with the Bristow Club. Hi, Mickey. Jamie Fetters here with Rotaract. Hi, Jamie. Mark Hoffman with Prestonwood Rotary in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Mark. And Matthew Redmond also with Rotaract. Matthew. Thank you all, and come again soon.
Thank you, Michael, very much. Come on up, John. Today we have the privilege of introducing some new members to Rotary. As I always say, once you get a chance to meet these members, I hope you'll dart right up to them and ask them to go to work on your committee. That's what we're about, right? Don't let me scare you guys. But we do want you to feel like you're included. John O'Connor is the first. He gets to go first, so John, have at it.
Great. We're very honored to introduce Becky Sholin to you. Becky is a transfer, actually, from the Oklahoma City Club, and I want to tell you a little bit about her. She grew up in Oklahoma, in the Oklahoma City area, but frequently visited her grandparents' farm in Nowata County. For those of you who know Mike Willis, the other Mike Willis, Becky is Mike's cousin. She attended Rose State College while working in a small community bank, and then has put together a career of 30 years in banking. She's worked for J.P. Morgan Chase, including managing their residential mortgage lending operation for Oklahoma and Texas, and worked for Arvest Bank. She is now in Tulsa at First Oklahoma Bank in their, she's a senior vice president for private banking and commercial lending. She's been married 31 years to Jim. She has 2 children. Becky, who lives in Jenks, is an engineer. Her son, whose name I didn't get, is at OU. He's a junior.
Dang.
And he's in engineering as well. She has been very involved in her community in Oklahoma City, and we're very excited to have her number 1 in Tulsa and number 2 in our Rotary Club. So it's clear from her career and who she's been employed with here in Tulsa that she's followed the 4-way test for all those years. And so, Becky, let us give you a warm welcome and thank you for joining our club.
Rick, come on up. It's my pleasure to introduce our other new member today, Rick Guild. Rick has more than 33 years of experience in real estate leasing and sales, and started over $750 million in personal leasing and sales that he's been responsible for in his career. He began in commercial real estate in 1983 with Trammell Crow, where he was responsible for leasing and marketing of the entire 4.5 million square foot Tulsa office building and warehouse ownership portfolio there. Later, in 1992, he joined Property Company of America, and in 1998, he formed his own company, the Guild Company. One of the more notable accomplishments of Rick as part of the Guild Company was that he was personally awarded a CoStar Top Office Leasing Broker in 2014 for the Tulsa office market, and he was one of only 5 brokers selected, and the company was named a CoStar Top Office Company Leasing Award, again, one of the top 5 companies selected. Rick, really, his life has intersected with our club a lot. It was really noticeable when I looked at his biography. For example, he has been a member of the Tulsa Boys Home Governing Board since 1990. We formed the Boys Home. He was made an honorary lifetime board member in 2011 as one of only 10 awarded that honor in the Tulsa Boys Home's 97-year history. He's a member of the Nicholas Club organization since 1988, supporting the Children's Medical Center, another operation with which we have a close connection, and Tulsa Boys Home. And he's also a member of the Girl Scouts of Oklahoma board since 2013. He graduated from OSU in 1980, the first cowboy I have ever introduced to this club. He is a member of the Sigma Chi fraternity. I know we have some Sigma Chi's in the club. And he has completed the MIT real estate program in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1987. Rick, you probably should have joined many years ago, but we're glad to have you now, and welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. All right, Phil, if you'll make your way up here for the introduction of our special music, and my apologies to the Technology Committee for us being a bit out of order. Once again, Phil has hit a home run with our next musical guest, so please introduce us, Phil.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. Today, I'd like to first of all thank once again Sherry Neubauer, who's here with us again, who is making the arrangements and coordinating to allow us to hear from these awesome and gifted and talented students from our community who are under the teaching of the newly formed Oklahoma Music Consortium. Today we will have the pleasure in listening to Sean Chen, who won second place at the 2016 New York International Piano Competition and will perform at Carnegie Hall this summer. Sean is a private piano student of Oklahoma Music Consortium teacher Tatiana Lantos. He is homeschooled through the OVCA program, that's Oklahoma Virtual Charter Academy. And today he will be performing Prelude in G minor, opera number 23, number 5. And the composer is Sergei Rachmaninoff. Please give a Rotarian welcome to Sean Chen.
For all you, all you bicyclists, the distance that his hands traveled over the keyboard, added up together, has got to be the same as a 25-mile bike ride. It's got to be the same. All right, for our Phones Out, Take Notes segment, a reminder of what's upcoming here at the Rotary Club. Next week, our guest will be Ryan Garko, the manager of the Tulsa Drillers, fresh off the baseball field, and David Irving, the coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks. I cannot wait to ask these guys some really fun questions about their teams and also how they impact the city. Future events, on April 27th, the Camp Enterprise group will be here to report to us on their great camp that was just finished, and on a couple of other ones that I'm really excited about. On May the 11th, we're going to have a reprise of my most favorite program at the Rotary Club of Tulsa in my 21 years in the club, and that's to have our guest Eva Unterman, who is a survivor of the Holocaust. If only we had a recording of what she had to say to us so many years ago, but hopefully we'll get to have most of it again. It is an incredible story, and please bring a guest on May the 11th. On May the 18th, we'll have an off-site meeting at the Tulsa Zoo. We'll see how you guys handle that. So mark your calendars now and plan to be there. Committee meetings today. Budget Committee will meet in room 233. The IBA Awards Committee will meet in room 234. And the Yearling Service Project Class 2 will meet in room 232. And now I get the pleasure of introducing our Sarge, Alicia, who will tell us a bit about our sponsors of the program today.
Good afternoon. We have some really fun sponsors. I think all our sponsors are fun, but these are extra fun today. Stan McCabe and my good pal Charles Seacrest with Key Personnel. Catherine DeCamp with the Oklahoma Innovative Institute. If you don't know what that is, you're not alone, but see Catherine. She's a new sponsor. It's fascinating. You will love it, I promise. And let's see, Brian Brandwin with Stanley Systems and Tim Lyons with TTCU. So thank you all so much to our sponsors. We encourage you to do business with one another. And if you have questions about sponsorships, you're welcome to see Matt Moritor or myself for more questions. Thank you.
All right, for our guests who don't come to Rotary a lot, you may not know that during this year we've tried to have fun with some old commercials and new commercials. And so today we have a classic. Some of you will remember, some of you will not, but enjoy this one. I think it's a great classic.
Mamma mia, that's some species. Cut spicy meatballs, Jack. Sorry. Take 28. Out, Tony. And action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. What was the matter with that? The accent. Cut. Measy, micey, ballsy, ballsy. Cut. Take 59. And action. Jack.
Sometimes you eat more than you should, and when it's spicy besides, Mamma mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer? Alka-Seltzer can help unstuff you, relieve the acid indigestion, and help make you your old self again.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. Okay, let's break for lunch.
I'm sure glad I got to be president this year because I show those to my kids and they don't laugh very much. So I want to say thank you again to the members of the club who participated in the business booths out in the hallway the last 6 weeks. We appreciate it very much, and I'm sure everybody got a lot out of that. I want to remind you that MSNI raffle tickets are for sale out in the lobby. Buy one so you can win. No guarantees, but buy one so you can win, because you're not going to win if you don't buy one. I can promise you that much. We learned of the passing of Rotarian Glenn Wright this past Monday, and there are cards on your table. Glenn was a great guy, great Rotarian, and we're sad that he's gone. But please sign some notes of encouragement for his family on the card that's on your table. And also, we learned that Rotarian Jerry Russell is hospitalized, recovering from open heart surgery. But he would love to get cards. His family tells us he would love to have cards, so please write him a note on the card on your table so we can send it to him. A couple of project announcements. I want to remind you again of the April 21st Tulsa Rotaract wine, cheese, and chocolate function. They were out in the hallway selling tickets today. They will after the meeting, and then next week they'll actually have an announcement for us and a reminder. And so now I get the pleasure of introducing Bob. Come on up to the podium, Bob, for a little bit about Right Across America.
or race across America, whichever way you want to look at it. We're going. We're underfunded, but we're going. We've got, we still need about $9,000. We've raised over $31,000. We still need an RV. If you've got one in your back pocket, I'll take it, if you'll come and drive it for us. We race in just 8 weeks. There are actually 55 time stations that we have to make or where a team will be pulled. We have one of our riders and one of our crew coming from Austria. So we're going, and we could use your help to finish funding this. You know, I thought about this. I should run for President of the United States. Those guys seem to be able to raise hundreds of millions of dollars making promises. So I promise I'm fighting polio. I'll take the money now. Our goal in doing this is to raise $10 million for polio. And we're doing a 30 for 30 campaign. We're trying to get all the district governors in America to have each one of their members give $30 for the 30 years that Rotary has been trying to eradicate polio. And there are 329,323 plus 2 that we added today, Rotarians in the United States. So I hope you will help me finish this. We're very close, and we are going. So please think about writing us a check or giving us cash or something. Thank you very much.
All right, our IABA chairs, Dana and Michael, are actually on their way up here, even though you can't tell. And they're going to have a big announcement for us about the IABA Awards, and then John Range, you're next after this.
Thank you, President Jeff. Before we make that big announcement, though, I don't know, you all remember that if you've reserved your table or seats, your name goes into a bucket to be drawn for some great prizes. So many of you have reserved your seats or table, and we have a great prize to give away today, and I want to get that done first. But if you have not, we have tons of great prizes left to get away, so I'm going to suggest that you get your reservation in early. And after I announce the award winner today, I think that there will be a major run on the table out there to sign up. So with that said, I would like to say that Curtis Craig is the winner of the gift certificate to the Post Oak Lodge, which Tricia was kind enough to give us, value $560. And Carol, I'm sorry, I pulled your husband's name from the hat, so I'm hoping he invites you, Carol. It's a cabin for 8, and there also is breakfast in the morning. If you guys want to invite us, we're available, so I think it should be fun. But all right, so the most important news today, we are announcing today our Chairman Award winner, and this is a very special award that we don't give very often. In our 23-year history, I believe we've only given it 4 times. So it's a special award that recognizes a person with a serious physical disability who expresses courage in the face of adversity by achieving a significant accomplishment in sports. The recipient will be Tulsan Amy Wolmershauser, and she's competed in the Special Olympics Oklahoma event since 1990. Her father, who is a retired police officer and is here today, Mark, has been very gracious to share some of the wonderful things that Amy's done. We already knew that she was wonderful, but I'm going to share a few with you. She's won an international gold medal in Korea for snowshoeing. She won a gold medal in speed walking in Ireland, international gold medal. And again, because of the connections in Rotary, just found out Linda Bradshaw was her sponsor to Ireland. She won a gold medal in unified bocce ball. I mean, this girl's on fire. She also holds the record, Special Olympic record for speed walking in 3 different categories, including the 1,500 meter. Her dad says even when he's running, he can't keep up with her. So, I mean, obviously very, very great athlete, but not only is she a great athlete, she's a great community citizen. She was named Athlete of the Year by the Law Enforcement Torch Run Conference. She is a trained global messenger for Special Olympics, and she volunteers for many civic organizations. So get your table now. You might qualify for a prize, but definitely you're going to want to come out and see Amy. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm here to ask you to participate in an upcoming event. There's 3 things that the Rotary Club of Tulsa needs your help for next year, July 1st forward. First is May the 7th is our district assembly. District assembly is an opportunity for all members to come and be trained on how Rotary leaves this room and is connected at the district and international level. It's a great experience. You learn a lot about Rotary. We need people to go to that are general members. We need the board members and chair members to go specifically for training. And I also need somebody that has a real heart for grant writing to go and be trained on how to write a grant so that we can bring that back to our club and feed our programs. The second way that I need help is there's many people in the room that I don't personally know that have not been asked to join in leadership opportunities next year. So I would love for you to catch me in the hall and say, hey, I would like to do something, whether it's to chair a committee or to belong to a committee or to help in a substantial way for another service project. I want to hear from you. I can't call everybody for those leadership opportunities next year, so if you have not been approached, don't feel bad, just come talk to me. So the third thing is to make sure that we are all on the same page for next year. I would like to make sure that you know there's a sign-up fair coming in a couple of weeks where all the committees will have a little booth out front and you can sign up to work on those committees. So we're going to roll that out in the next couple of weeks. We'll have booths out and you can sign up for committee work next year. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Alicia, grab your mic. Come to the mic.
Sorry. Good afternoon. Did you say you'll have booze out or booths out? Yes. Booze. That's what I thought. That's how you get a crowd. Good afternoon. Before we start, I don't have a slide to correspond with this, but Mr. Bob Linacher gave me $100 this morning in memory of Ed Bentley, who was our Rotarian for 61 years. So thank you very, very much, Bob. This is I would say one of our newest Rotarians, Bryant Bynum, and his guest that's with him today, Dan. Where are you guys at? There you are. Good to see you. Very exciting. If you're not familiar with the tarot certification process, it's very time-consuming, and they were recently honored with being tarot certified for their business Blueview. He graciously contributed, sorry, that picture's kind of dark, graciously contributed $300 from Blueview to us to celebrate that with him. So thank you very, very much for that. This is super exciting. I want to introduce you to Special Olympics Family of the Year. Where are you, Michael? Michael, back here. Michael, Madison, Megan, Lisa, Turner were all honored this year for Special Olympics, so congratulations for that, and thank you for sharing with us. This is so special, I love it. And this is Michael and Madison in their 20-meter partner walk. So this is fantastic. Thank you again, Michael, for sharing your family with us. Speaking of cute families, Matthew Bristow, your anniversary's tomorrow, I think. You're welcome for the reminder. 9 years, Matthew Bristow. $90 for 9 years of wedded bliss. That's my wording, but I'm sure you agree. And then $10 for every human child that he has. Lyle, Eden, and Isla. So beautiful family. Congratulations on your anniversary, and thank you for your contribution. Last but certainly not least, Lou and Buehlinger, thank you very much for the business booths. This is the last week, so if you didn't get to participate in it, you missed out, and it's just probably never going to happen again. So we have Jason George with Tulsa Drillers and Tulsa Roughnecks, and everybody will be out there after the meeting for a few minutes. Marty Alexander with World Travel, and Stu McDaniel with Guru Stu. So thank you to everybody for participating in that. And have a nice afternoon.
Thanks, Alicia. Don't forget, opening day tomorrow, Drillers. It's my pleasure to introduce our Rotarian of the Day, Bob McKenzie. Bob is president of Lion Enterprises. He joined our club in 1994 and has served in a number of leadership roles before becoming president in 2010-2011. He's a Club Foundation Fellow, an MSNI Ambassador, a Paul Harris Fellow, a major donor to the Rotary Foundation, etc. Recognized in 05-06 as Rotarian of the Year of this club, Bob continues to set the daily example, as you see almost every week, of Rotary's motto, service above self. Bob, we appreciate your passion, and I am confident you will have all the support you need for the race across America. Please welcome our Rotarian of the Day, Bob McKenzie.
Thank you, President Jeff, and it's an honor for me to introduce Malcolm McCollam today to you. He's moved to Tulsa in 1982. He grew up in Kansas City and attended the University of Kansas, where he obtained a business degree. He attained a law degree from Washburn University and moved to Tulsa to begin his practicing law. His service on nonprofit boards and committees has included Park Fields, the NCOG Transportation Policy and Planning Committee, the Oklahoma Academy of Collaborative Professionals, the International Academy of Collaborative Professionals, and Leadership Tulsa. Malcolm has been an active member of running local cycling community, has served as an event organizer for various capacities with the Maple Ridge Run, Cherry Street Mile, the St. Francis Corporate Challenge. In 2006, along with 5 other Tulsans, Malcolm co-founded the St. Francis Tulsa Tough. He now serves as the executive director of Tulsa Tough. Now, as a side note, I want to tell you, Malcolm's been riding a bicycle a lot longer than I have. But I'm happy to tell you that I can ride just as fast as he can. I mean, you take a hill, Malcolm can go right up that hill at 20 miles an hour, and I can go right down that same hill at 20 miles an hour. Please welcome Malcolm McCollam. Thank you.
It's good, Bob. Thank you for that, and thank you, President Hassel, for the invitation. It's such an honor to be up here. I've been on the other side of the stage for the downtown Rotary Club many times in my life, and sat out there and saw really important people up here. And this is a really big club. It's one of the best clubs, best Rotary clubs in the entire world. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be up here on the other side of the table. So it's a real honor, and I really appreciate you inviting me. Thank you very much. So, one thing I would like to say, a couple things about some of the guests that were introduced today. Earlier at the table you saw the introductions of my guests. These people are not only involved in Tulsa Tough, but have been involved. We just finished up our 10th year. We're into our 11th year. And the guests that we have seated at this table, Chris and Mark and Tim and Mike and Tanya, have been involved with Tulsa Tough and the organization from the very beginning. They were some of those 5 in fact, all of them, there's one person missing. All of them were involved in the co-founding of this event, and it speaks to not only their commitment to the event, to Tulsa, and what they believe in, that they're still involved as board members today. So thank you very much for your service. It's an honor to be involved in this event with you guys. Thank you. Last year, we celebrated the 10th anniversary of the St. Francis Tulsa Tough, which, for those of you who may not be familiar with it, it's a 3-day cycling festival that takes place every June here in Tulsa, in the Blue Dome District, in the Brady Arts District, River Parks, and in the Riverview neighborhood. The event features racing, racing events called criteriums. We like to call criteriums NASCAR on bicycles. We also have recreational rides over distances from 30 to 100 miles. Those are called Gran Fondos. It's an Italian phrase for big ride. And we have a more leisurely neighborhood ride around 6 miles long called the Lobeck-Taylor Family Foundation Townie Ride. Over 2,000 cyclists from 41 states and 14 countries participated last year in the races. the recreational rides, before an estimated 50,000 spectators over this 3-day event. We generated an estimated economic impact of around $2 million for Tulsa that weekend. While we are proud of this and proud of the economic impact the St. Francis Tulsa Tough makes every year, what we're more proud of and what really drives us, and I'll speak a little more about that in a little bit, is the impact we believe we are able to have on Tulsa's image, both with Tulsans and to those who live out of state. So to explain what I mean by this, let's go back 10 or more years to that time when various groups, both public and private, were conducting research and studying about Tulsa and Tulsa's image. One of the things we heard back then was that Tulsa had an image problem. It wasn't necessarily a bad image. It was in some people's minds, but it wasn't necessarily a really bad image. It was just no image. In other words, we just were not registering in the minds of out-of-state people. We just weren't on anybody's radar. Well, this obviously is not good if you're trying to compete with other cities to attract and retain skilled talent, engineering, professions, you name it. When you're trying to attract and retain skilled talent, that's not good. So this brings me to Tulsa Tough's mission, which is this is what drives us, and this is what I referred to earlier. Our mission is to elevate the profile of Tulsa and promote active lifestyles. Those two things, elevate the profile of Tulsa and promote active lifestyle. That's where we're trying to make a difference beyond just having an economic impact. Just listen to some of the comments we've received from some of our past participants. Here's one from Dallas. This is the best cycling event anywhere in the U.S. We come every year for Tulsa Tough and always look forward to the racing, the crowds, the party in Tulsa. Until I visited Tulsa, I had a negative view of the city. Now I love it. I would never have come to Tulsa had it not been for Tulsa Tough. Another one, this is my favorite weekend of the year. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and found the trip so worth it. Please keep up this great event. I hope to enjoy it for years to come. Another Dallas comment, I thought Tulsa was an oil and gas conservative Bible Belt town until I came to the Tulsa Tough. Those of you who have been know what we're talking about here. I now think Tulsa is much cooler and more hip than I would ever have given it credit for. So there's no question in my mind that Tulsa is now making its way into those conversations, and deservedly so, with cities like Portland and Austin and Boulder and all those places that have a cool and a hip vibe. We're now in that conversation. We've earned our way there. We deserve to be there. And that's really important to us at Tulsa Tough. We need to keep this up if we're going to attract and retain talented young people to Tulsa, which is very important for us in the future. Now, before moving on, I'd like to briefly touch on the second part of our mission that I mentioned, and that's the promotion of active lifestyles. As most of you know, we have many health issues in Oklahoma that are not necessarily very desirable, and many of them are preventable by living an active lifestyle. Just living an active lifestyle alone can make a difference. But there's more to it than just health and fitness. When people come together over running events, cycling events, outdoor activities, good things can happen. New connections are made, friendships are formed, a sense of community develops. This is what we see happening more and more in the cycling community. Now, 4 years ago, we noticed that women weren't participating in cycling at the same level they were in running events and other events around town. So to address this, we launched the St. Francis Tulsa Tough Divas program to encourage women to incorporate cycling as a part of their active lives. Today, approximately 100 women belong to this group. They meet weekly. In fact, they're meeting tonight to do a ride. They ride together, they meet for camaraderie, they meet as a mutual support group. It's been very important to us, and seeing these things happen as a result of what Tulsa Tough has been doing in the community inspire every one of us, inspire everyone involved with Tulsa Tough, our staff, our board members, our volunteers, our sponsor. It's so refreshing and so rewarding. Now, As I mentioned at the beginning of my talk, last year we reached an important milestone. It was our 10-year anniversary, 10 years of our flagship event, the St. Francis Tulsa Tough. And while celebrating our first decade is something we're really proud about, what 2015 to us may be remembered for even more is the year that we evolved and moved beyond being just a single event nonprofit to becoming a cause-oriented community service organization. We've always been mission-driven, striving to elevate the profile of Tulsa and promote active lifestyles, but until last year, our focus had been to accomplish that mission through the production of the St. Francis Tulsa Tough. Last year, we took several new and important steps. First thing we did was we created a second event. We called it the Synergy Heartland. Synergy Architects and Engineers came on board as the title sponsor for that event. It's a cyclocross event that takes place in November. Now, if criteriums are the NASCAR of bicycling, cyclocross is the Tough Mudder or the Warrior Dash of bicycling. Very exciting to watch, very fun, open to the public, just a blast. The Synergy Heartland was created to promote the development of STEM talent in Tulsa. Last year, we were able to make a $5,000 donation to the Tulsa Children's Museum, and we laid the groundwork for engaging the students in STEM projects that will result in them being able to work hands-on with the engineers and the contractors this year to construct working features of this year's cyclocross course. We also took steps to collaborate and formalize working relationships with several other local groups beyond producing 2 events. One group we reached out to was the OU Urban Design Studio, directed by Professor Sean Schaefer, who I am thankful was able to make the luncheon today. We at Tulsa Tough believe the time is right to build upon Tulsa's emerging identity as a city with a vibrant cycling scene. So Professor Schaefer created a year-long course for his graduate students to study the feasibility of expanding underutilized portions of Turkey Mountain to create a world-class cycling facility. Such a facility could include pump tracks, gravity trails, trials courses, a BMX track, a cyclocross course, and a velodrome. Now, I realize many of you may not be familiar with these terms, so here's the important takeaway from all this. If we were able to create an outdoor facility like this, Tulsa would have 3 Olympic sports venues represented in one location. 3 Olympic sports represented at Turkey Mountain. We've already received some really good news this last week with the passing of the Vision Package and the announcement that USA BMX will be moving its national headquarters to Tulsa. So a new project like this could build upon that foundation and further elevate Tulsa's profile. So Professor Schaefer's students are producing a scale model of their concept, and they'll be revealing that to the public on May 11th at the Synergy building at 8th and Cincinnati. So watch for details on that, and I hope you'll be able to go see the scale model once it's displayed. Another group we partnered with last year was the Indian Nations Council of Governments. INCOG recently concluded development of a plan to provide the city of Tulsa with a public network of shareable bicycles, as many other urban areas do across the country, and I'm sure as you've traveled the nation, you've seen many of these bike share networks. This year, INCOG and Tulsa Tough will partner on the promotion and the development of this bike share network. Something like this can continue to enhance Tulsa's image, encourage the public to become more active, which are both squarely in line with Tulsa Tough's mission. Tulsa deserves to have a public bike share network, and we are committed to doing our part as well. An advisory board has been formed, seed funding has been obtained to get the project off the ground, and we expect some major announcements in 2016, so I hope you'll continue to watch for those. Now lastly, in 2014, a local cyclist and a business owner, Mike Wozniak, he's seated here as one of our guests today, he connected with another local community volunteer, a guy named Jason Wharton. And together, they got a small group of volunteers, and they started an after-school program for underserved youth at an area elementary school. They called it Bike Club. And the program was a huge hit. They found that children who participated in Bike Club had better attendance rates, they exhibited better behavior, and they did better in school and better at home. So last year, Bike Club expanded from 1 school to 6 schools. We were in contact with each other, constantly following Bike Club, supporting its activities from afar, and so Tulsa Tough and Bike Club collaborated a little bit last year, and we played a very minor role in assisting them. Today, I'm so happy and proud to announce that beginning with the 2016-2017 school year, Tulsa Tough and the Bike Club founders will build upon this collaboration and formally become partners in the development and the growth of this program by working together to expand Bike Club throughout this Tulsa School District. That is going to be a major focus of our efforts in the coming years. We want to build Bike Club beyond 6 schools to the entire Tulsa School District. Finally, it would be remiss of me if I didn't give you an opportunity to contribute to our mission through sponsorship or as a volunteer. So if you feel so moved to be a part of our efforts, drop me an email. We'll keep expanding this pie and doing good things for Tulsa. As we enter our 11th year, we at Tulsa Tough are more motivated than ever about finding ways to elevate Tulsa's profile, help Tulsans adopt active lifestyles, and create new experiences where people can come together to continue to make Tulsa a great place to live. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate the opportunity to come speak with you.
Malcolm has graciously agreed to answer some questions, so some of you guys are always good for a question. Lauren, thank you.
So the question is, how can we support the teams that come to the St. Francis Tulsa Tough every year in various ways? And so I really didn't plant this question out there, and I greatly appreciate you asking. Okay. What she's talking about is that we have, as I mentioned, we have people from 41 states and 14 countries that are represented at the St. Francis Tulsa Tough. We are one of 3,000 events that are permitted by the governing body of USA Cycling. They pick every year the top 30 events to be national calendar events, and we're one of those. Within that top calendar of events, there's a very small tier of 3 or 4 events that are generally considered to be the Tier 1 events, and we are one of those. So what that does for us is attracts foreign athletes. I have a team of 7 men coming from Australia this year to Tulsa. And riders at the highest professional and elite level. Oftentimes, we're able to arrange host housing for them so they don't have to go to the expense of hotel rooms for those elite teams. We have put up more than 250 different elite athletes in our host housing program over the years, and it has become such a mutual thing that I've heard from the different hosts. They have such a wonderful time meeting the athletes. They develop relationships with them. They follow each other throughout the year. So we have a link on our website where you can sign up to be a host house volunteer. We also have links on our website where you can volunteer to do different activities during the event. Just to give you an idea, every volunteer that helps us out over the weekend gets a T-shirt, and we have to order around 600 T-shirts each year. So that's the extent of this kind of operation, and those are some of the ways that you can help. I really appreciate that.
Such a good question.
Thank you so much.
14 countries, so that means the USA and 13 other countries, right?
That's not one of the countries.
Oh, so 14 other countries, so 15 total. I went to OU, so I need a little help with that math. A book recognizing today's program will be presented to our partner in education school, Celia Clinton, and the name of the book is Peanut Butter and Cupcake. That sounds pretty good. As I remind my fellow Rotarians every week, please thank the volunteers who made this program possible. There are their names on the screen. It's not a one or even two-person show. It takes a lot of people. I thank all of you for being a part of our program today, and go out now and tell your family, friends, and colleagues about Tulsa Tough. We're adjourned.